The news with Ben Kinney and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us. I'm Ben Kinney in for Gary this morning.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
Pretty clear on the radar this morning, but things might change.
Yeah, I got a few rain shower chances across the area. Let's take a look at the radar at this time. And we've got, as you can see here, a few, in fact, the only downpours here locally down south and west of Norwich toward Ithaca. In fact, almost directly south of Syracuse right there. Got those few very narrow pockets of downpours. A thunderstorm south of Buffalo and parts of the southern tier near Erie, but you can see these shower chances are sporadic. Still expect maybe a passing shower or two throughout the morning. Downtown Utica, it's cloudy. It's mainly dry. It's overall a pretty quiet start to your day today. Temperatures in the 60s here locally, 40s up in Saranac Lake. It is a cooler start than you've probably seen in the past week or so. So this weekend, afternoon thunderstorms are expected Saturday. Sunday appears to be better of the two weekend days. We'll go into detail on the timing of those storms and the potential impacts then coming up in a few minutes. But again, today as you head out, much of the day actually will be spent in the 60s. Maybe a long sleeve shirt and keep that umbrella handy as well. We're going to track, of course, a more detailed look at that weekend forecast and what lies beyond that in a few minutes. Ben?
All right, Eric, thank you very much. Don't forget the Storm Tracker 2 forecast, never more than 10 minutes away. Funeral services have...
This live look of downtown Cooperstown is brought to you by the Leatherstocking Credit Union.
Welcome back to Sunrise on this Friday morning. Time now is 5:12. As you head out to work today, it's going to be similar to yesterday temperature-wise. Really struggling to get into the eventual upper 60s, low 70s. Here we are with a live look across the area from our cameras across central New York, and same story, overcast skies and some pockets of rain showers. Either way, it's green here on the traffic tracker across pretty much all of central New York early this morning. The radar, though, picking up on a few showers, primarily in the southern valleys early today. And in fact, a few downpours might work their way into, say, parts of Unadilla, maybe Oneonta, Norwich, the southern portion of the Shenango and Otsego counties. So we zoom out. We got a few downpours out in the southern tier either way this morning. Overall pretty unsettled. As we head into this afternoon, cloudy skies work their way in. Most of that rain does eventually end, but we are tracking some storms as we head into this weekend. We're going to break down the timing of it, the potential impacts, all that and more in that full forecast. Ben?
All right, Eric, thank you very much. A major pharmacy group and...
Spoil your day. Tune in for the Storm Tracker 2 Commutecast, brought to you by Munson. Visit Munson today and ignite curiosity and creativity. Visiting Munson and the Storm Tracker 2 Commutecast, both free and both Utica's very own. Remember, all roads lead to Munson.
Come get your Children's Miracle Drawing ticket in person, Wednesday, July 2nd at Chenantries from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. and be entered to win a Utica basket. They'll be on site accepting cash, check, or credit card. So come get your Children's Miracle Drawing ticket before they're gone.
The 2025 Boilermaker Race Clock, brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
I just have one question for you. Did you just your ticket yet?
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. Happy Friday. We are wrapping up the month of June already. This month has already flown by, but we're not ending it at least with a sunny Friday, more of a cloudy and cool Friday. Take a look outside in downtown Utica. Generally overcast with some light sprinkles out there today. Temperature sits at 62 degrees. Look at this dew point, though, 54. The last time we had a dew point that low was, I think, as late as last week. We had 70 and 60 plus dew points, so definitely refreshing humidity. If you want to air out your house, some of you don't have AC, open up those windows. Now, there might be a passing shower this afternoon, but the winds don't appear to be that strong. If you have the screen in, you shouldn't really have anything besides leaving the windows cracked. Either way, once those showers roll through, it's going to be a relatively dry afternoon. Still, though, hold off on mowing today due to the fact the grass might still be a little damp. Saturday, maybe you do it early. By the afternoon, a few thunderstorms pass over us. In our opinion, your best bet is on Sunday with the dry weather expected and partly sunny skies. So we look at the bigger picture here, and we've got this front lifting north, and then this trailing cold front that works through on Saturday. That's the one we're watching as we look ahead to the weekend. In terms of storm potential, here's a look at it. And just to give you peace of mind, this is nothing like what we saw last weekend, but there still is a chance for severe storms. We don't want to rule that out. You see here the dark green, level 1 out of 5 risk. And the biggest concern with this would be that heavy rainfall causing flooding. Second biggest risk would be some strong wind gusts, potentially damaging wind gusts. That might be isolated. And then, of course, we can't rule out some hail and an isolated tornado. Again, this is not a setup that is primed to produce those types of severe weather scenarios, but it's still non-zero. And just make sure you're weather aware. Saturday afternoon, in fact, we'll time it out right here. Clouds persistent today. It dries up in the evening, a few passing sprinkles and showers Saturday morning, and then by Saturday afternoon, here comes that front between roughly 3 and 5 p.m., and then 6 p.m. onwards as you head out to the east. And then Sunday starts out with clouds, temperatures in the 60s, climbing into the upper 70s, maybe even low 80s by the afternoon with plenty of sunshine. So your 7-day forecast as we head into the weekend. If you have any plans, Sunday, your best bet for any outdoor weather. And then by Monday and Tuesday, warm with some thunderstorms. We head into July in the 70s. Hopefully 4th of July looks pretty nice for any 4th of July fireworks and events.
Never heard it. Very rare is it we say heading into July in the 70s.
Well, I mean, we could have been 90s. It was a week before.
No, I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining by any means,
way.
believe me. All right, thank you very much, Eric. The time now 5:22. Still ahead on Sunrise, the State Department. Good morning. Thank you for joining us this half hour. I'm Ben Kinney, in for Gary. It's a somewhat decent start to the day out there. Let's head right over to the Weather Center. Meteorologist Eric Gage is tracking whether it's going to stay that way. And Eric, good news, bad news? Come on.
Well, it's at least mainly dry here this morning. We were going to see a few passing showers, so I guess.
Okay, we'll take it.
It's not that bad. I'll put it that way. It's not that bad. A look at the radar right now. Let's zoom in here. We got a few passing showers, primarily in the southern valleys early today. Parts of Oneonta, Norwich. This is going to shift its way north, and we could see them throughout the morning. For now, maybe an isolated downpour. A lot of that instability is staying generally south of central New York. Downtown Utica, live view outside, cloudy skies to start, and overall pretty quiet weather conditions out there. And the temperatures begin in the 60s, unless you're up in the North Country. 41-degree temperature in Saranac Lake. Quite a cool start up there. The weekend shaping up with a few thunderstorms Saturday afternoon. We're going to track those in a few minutes. Sunday, nicer of the two weekend days with temperatures in the upper 70s for highs. So again, as you head out today, maybe a long sleeve shirt. Much of the day will be spent in the 60s. And on top of that, keep that umbrella handy in case we get a passing shower. But again, we're going to track those rain chances and storm chances heading to the weekend in a few minutes. Ben?
All right, Eric, thank you very much. Don't forget the Storm Tracker 2 forecast, never more than 10 minutes away. New this morning, President Trump and his...
All-day coverage of the Boilermaker Health and Wellness Expo Friday, July 11th, brought to you by New Hartford Wellness. This live look of downtown Cooperstown is brought to you by the Leatherstocking Credit Union.
Welcome back to Sunrise. A quick look at the radar as you head out today. We've got mainly dry conditions, a few showers out to the south. As we head throughout the morning, this will gradually lift north with some spotty sprinkles mixed in with overcast skies. So the start of your day is unsettled. The clouds move in with dry conditions this afternoon, though. Our final photo of the day for this week takes us to Lake Delta. And look at this shot right here of a bald eagle taken by Kira. Amazing photo sent in to us. And if you have a photo like this amazing one right here, you can send it to WKTV.com/weather/pics for the chance of your photo featured right here on News Channel 2 at Sunrise, as well as featured on our social media pages. Ben?
All right, Eric, thank you very much. A $20,000
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning on this Friday. Today we are looking at cloudy skies and some rain shower chances to start your day today. Downtown Utica, though, it is a dry start. That rain hasn't moved into this part of the area yet. Either way, temperatures are in the low 60s. It is a comfortable humidity out there. It's been quite a while since we've seen these numbers here locally, so enjoy the refreshing humidity out there today. Open up those windows this afternoon when the rain ends and enjoy the cooler weather after such a warm stretch earlier this week. The radar picking up on those showers, primarily again in the southern valleys early today. Mainly quiet up north. This is going to shift north a little bit. We could see a few sprinkles here and there, but for the most part, today is just damp and cloudy. You could still mow the lawn today if you need to. Saturday, maybe not so much with the showers working their way in with scattered thunderstorms in the afternoon. Sunday, though, is your best bet for mowing the lawn. MoCast is brought to you by Clinton Tractor. So we've got this front moving in from the west, this warm front initially, then this trailing cold front. And that cold front is what we're watching as we head into tomorrow. There is a level 1 out of 5 risk for severe storms. To give you peace of mind, this is not the same type of system that we saw last weekend. This is a more of a typical summertime cold front that rolls through, and with it, the typical summertime severe weather risk. Heavy rain, gusty winds, and the isolated chance for a tornado or some hail. So again, this is not something to be terribly alarmed about, but just make sure you have ways to receive weather alerts. This will be happening in the afternoon and evening, so you could be watching the evening news as it's passing over us. So either way, this is not happening overnight. This will be long gone by the night hours. So today, mainly cloudy, a few sprinkles and cloudy skies this evening. A few sprinkles overnight tonight, and then Saturday morning, a passing downpour here and there. And then by the evening, there's that cold front works through. Our model here in-house is showing this front to be a lot on the weaker side. There's some data pointing to a stronger front. Either way, based off my gut feel, I'm going in the middle ground here. We're going to say just a typical cold front passing over us with the chance for a couple severe storm warnings along the line of it if that does end up strengthening enough. Still, though, cloudy skies work their way into early Sunday morning. Sunshine works in Sunday afternoon. Over a pretty nice second half of the weekend. So if you have any Sunday plans, well, you got no rain to impede them. It's going to be entirely dry. Still, though, watch out for some storms Saturday. Monday and Tuesday, warming up into the low to mid 80s by the end of June, early July. Of course, first day of July starts on Tuesday. And 80s, 70s. It's really not too bad.
No.
It's not major heat, not major cool, just right in the middle. So.
Usually first week of July, we're talking temperatures in the mid-upper 80s. So I think that's kind of refreshing to be upper 70s, low 80s.
And the temperature trend is supposed to continue to increase. Yeah. I mean, overall, the average temperature by the end of the month is probably the highest it'll be all year. So.
All right. Well, we'll take it. Thank you very much, Eric. Take a look at this.
News with Ben Kinney and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, I'm Ben Kinney, in for Gary this morning.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
A lot to get to, but first, the most important thing, the weather.
And we got a dry-ish start today, maybe a few.
Ish.
I mean, we could be talking, steady, heavy rainfall.
That's
so,
true.
I mean, today is actually not that bad. Either way, let's take a look at the radar because we have some spots of rain showers across parts of the area, primarily in the southern valleys here in, say, parts of Otsego and Chenango County. As we zoom out, there's a few downpours, even some thunderstorms south of Buffalo. A lot of this instability stays to our south today, but again, we can't rule out a few sprinkles and showers here locally. Downtown Utica, overcast early today. Pretty much most of the Mohawk Valley, central New York area under that overcast. Sunshine out in Buffalo and up in the Adirondacks. Saranac Lake, though, a little cooler at 42 degrees. Now, what can you expect this weekend? A quick preview of it. We've got a few downpours in the morning Saturday, afternoon thunderstorms. Sunday, the nicer of the 2 weekend days, with partly sunny skies and highs in the upper 70s. So today, as you head out, it's cooler. Much of the day will be in the 60s, so maybe grab that long sleeve shirt, keep that umbrella handy in case you see a passing shower. Again, we're tracking a lot more detail, the timing of those showers and storms tomorrow in that full forecast. Ben?
Eric, thank you very much. Don't forget the Storm Tracker 2 forecast is never more than 10 minutes away. Funeral service.
This live look of downtown Cooperstown is brought to you by the Leatherstocking Credit Union.
Welcome back to Sunrise on this Friday. Time now is 6:11 as we exit our final full week of June. And overall, trends on the cooler side, at least compared to earlier this week. We take a look outside. Not only is it relatively cloudy, it's also a little unsettled, especially in parts of the southern valleys. You take a look right here, Oneonta, low-lying clouds, and maybe some light drizzle to wake up to early today. The traffic tracker is green across the board, though. There are no incidents to report of. And as we look at the radar, again, much of the Mohawk Valley is dry. We look to our south, that's where that rainfall activity is taking place. And again, this is expected to shift north a little bit. Not expected to be a complete washout today. Matter of fact, this afternoon, looking a lot more on the dry side. So a few scattered showers early today, cloudy skies this afternoon, and high temperatures struggling to reach the low 70s. So we started out extremely hot, ending this week about 10 degrees cooler than average. We are tracking, though, some shower and storm chances tomorrow. We're going to break down the timing of it, potential impacts, and plus if the whole weekend will be unsettled in that full forecast. Ben?
All right, Eric, thank you very much. A major pharmacy group is ending.
Spoil your day. Tune in for the Storm Tracker 2 Commutecast, brought to you by Munson. Visit Munson today and ignite curiosity and creativity. Visiting Munson and the Storm Tracker 2 Commutecast, both free and both Utica's very own. Remember, all roads lead to Munson.
I just have one question for you. Did you just your ticket yet?
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. Happy Friday, everybody. Today, cloudy skies, maybe even a few light showers in the forecast, but so far, none of that rain is taking place in Utica right now. Live look inside the city from our Nexus camera facing the skyline here. Generally quiet early today. In fact, pretty quiet along Risky Boulevard here. A single car. Well, they got two of them here. Either way, the temperature sits at 70 or 62 degrees with a 54-degree dew point. It is comfortable humidity for the first time in probably all week long. It's been this this dry in the air. Either way, we still have some elevated moisture, and this is going to fire up some few isolated to scattered showers throughout the day. You can see the pattern of these. See how far apart they are? Maybe you could pass one, drive 5 miles south, it's dry. That's the pattern of these showers. Most of these downpours actually will stay mostly to our south. Either way, today with those rain chances, plus the fact the soil might be a little bit on the damp side, maybe hold off on mowing the lawn. The reason for these no's because Sunday is your best bet. It's going to be entirely dry with temperatures in the 70s and some sunshine in the afternoon. Saturday, though, especially in the afternoon, there could be some thunderstorms that roll through. We'll touch upon that right now. So here's a look at the overall weather pattern. We got this front moving its way to our east in this trailing cold front. This is what could fire up a few storms heading into Saturday evening. And as a heads up, this is not something like what we saw last weekend. The pattern is nothing like an MCS or that mesoscale convective system we saw last weekend. Those are basically a melting pot of severe weather. This one is a typical cold front summertime thunderstorm pattern. We got the typical threats of some heavier rainfall, some gusty winds, and the isolated tornado that can't be ruled out. Still, though, make sure you have ways to receive weather alerts. This happens in the late afternoon to early evening. So this is not happening overnight either, which is also some good news as well. So today, mainly cloudy, a few passing sprinkles. It's dry this evening and tonight. Then tomorrow, a few passing downpours in the afternoon. Here comes that cold front. Our model here, our Skycast, a little bit on the weaker side in terms of how strong it thinks it's going to be. I think it'll be a little bit stronger than this, but I don't think it's going to be widespread severity. Either way, just make sure you have access to weather alerts. Of course, this might be happening during our evening newscast tomorrow, so you might have the ability to watch it live on air. Either way, sunshine moves in Sunday, a pretty nice end to the weekend. 7-day forecast, we enter July on Tuesday, 81 degrees, some thunderstorms, and so far sunshine moves in Wednesday and Thursday. Can that stick around until Friday? That's the big question.
Yeah.
Of course, the important question, 4th of July plans, over a week away. We're going to see how it pans out, but for now, July looks to be warm, seasonable with some thunderstorms and sunshine. So
Yeah,
not too bad.
We'll take it. We'll take it. Thank you very much, Eric. Be sure to like us and follow us on Facebook. Good morning once again. Thank you for joining us this half hour. I'm Ben Kinney in for Gary this morning. Well, let's see. Will we break the streak of wet weekends? Eric, what's the answer? Survey says
No, but listen, Ben. I know you promised you a backflip if we had a whole weekend or whole year without a dry weekend.
we're getting close, and
but
it's scary.
I do want to add context, though, because, of course, you know, I think it was a weekend ago or 2 weekends ago, we had a drop of rain in the morning. The rest of the weekend was dry.
It still counts.
That still counts. So I guess you can take that statistic with a grain of salt. Either way, we're expecting showers and storms on Saturday. It's not going to be all day long, or at least all weekend long. We have some dry weather on Sunday, though. Let's back to the forecast here locally, though. We've got a few downpours passing through the southern tier. As they move their way north, it lacks that instability, so the showers begin to fall apart. Still, a few sprinkles are possible in parts of our area today. Downtown Utica, generally overcast skies out there this morning, and temperatures in the 50s and 60s with lower humidity. It's quite a different scene out there compared to earlier in the week. And again, as I mentioned, this weekend it's shaping up to be not too bad. We got some showers, afternoon thunderstorms Saturday. Sunday looking a lot nicer. So if you have any outdoor plans this weekend, debating which day to do it, Sunday is your better bet. Still, though, today, long sleeve shirt weather. Much of the day will be spent in the 60s. Still, though, keep that umbrella handy as we could see a few of those sprinkles. We're tracking, of course, those storms on Saturday. We're going to break down the exact timing of it, plus the potential impacts from these coming up in a few minutes. Ben?
All right, Eric, thank you very much. Don't forget the Storm Tracker 2 forecast is never more than 10 minutes away. New this morning, President
Children's Miracle Drawing Ticket in person, Wednesday, July 2nd at Chenantries from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. and be entered to win a Utica basket. They'll be on site accepting cash, check, or credit card. So come get your Children's Miracle Drawing Ticket before they're gone.
Join News Channel 2 on Sunday, July 13th, starting at 7 a.m. as we introduce the Boilermaker Runners, including the awe-inspiring wheelchair division. Then watch as these athletes take on the Boilermakers' historic 9.3-mile course. Brought to you by R.A. Dudrak, the Window King.
I just have one question for you. Did you get your ticket yet?
This live look of downtown Cooperstown is brought to you by the Leatherstocking Credit Union.
Well, go back to sunrise. A quick forecast as you head out the door today. We begin with a few showers, primarily south of the Mohawk Valley. It's going to shift its way north throughout the morning. And so again, can't run an isolated shower today. As we head throughout the afternoon, things begin to dry up. And we'll, of course, track some more shower and storm chances heading into the weekend. But let's take a look at our final photo of the day this week. This one takes us up into a great scene of a bald eagle at Lake Delta. Take a look at this right here. Photo of a beautiful bald eagle in the trees here sent in by Kira. If you have a photo like this you'd like to share of nature, animals, sunrises, clouds, anything you think could brighten someone's day, send it to WKTV.com/weather/pics for the chance to be photo featured right here, not only on News Channel 2 at sunrise, but also on our social media pages. Ben?
All right, Eric, thank you very much. A $20,000 grant.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. Time now, 6:50. Right before we head out the door today, we are tracking cloudy skies and maybe a few light rain showers. Take a look at downtown Utica. It's a dry start in the city here. Traffic's starting to pick up at this hour, and the temperature at 62 degrees, comfortable humidity. That's the key here. Aside from the rain chances today, especially by the afternoon, once things dry up entirely, just open up those windows and air out the house a little bit after all that humidity over the weekend, or I should say earlier this week. Live look at the radar at this time. We've got a few passing showers, primarily south of the Mohawk Valley. They're going to gradually shift their way north and lose their strength. See a lot of lightning out south of Buffalo. That's really not expected throughout the day today. Still, though, those rain chances, it's going to be a little damp out there today as well as tomorrow for those storms that roll through Saturday. But as we head into Sunday, that's when sunshine moves in. So you had to choose which day to mow the lawn. Well, Sunday is your best bet. So we take a look at the larger scale. We got this frontal boundary moving in from the west. Now, initially as a warm front, that's trailing cold front pulls through, and this is what's going to usher in the potential for a few storms on Saturday. Notice here, dark green, level 1 out of 5 risk for severe weather. This is not like the storm system we saw last weekend, by any means. A whole different system. This is more of a typical summertime cold front setup with some thunderstorms, biggest risk being some heavy rain, gusty winds, and an isolated tornado that can't be ruled out. So just make sure you're weather aware tomorrow afternoon. Again, this takes place between the 3 to 6 p.m. time frame. So during daylight, as long as you have your phone alerts, maybe you can be watching TV for any of our cut-ins in case anything does turn severe. So we have some showers passing through Saturday morning. A couple downpours. That front moves through again between 3 and 6 p.m. Following that, it dries out and the severe risk is done for the overnight hours. Sunday starting out dry, turning sunny by the afternoon with highs in the mid to upper 70s, pushing 80 in some spots. So your 7-day forecast, you got weather aware Saturday afternoon, a few scattered thunderstorms Monday, our first day of July. Believe it or not, it's already here. Starting out with the 80s on Tuesday, then 70s Wednesday and Thursday. So not too bad temperature-wise. And, of course, the key here, the key date, July 4th on that Friday. For now, it's still too far away to tell, but hopefully it trends like Thursday and Wednesday with sunshine.
Let's make it 3 in a row. Three nice 4th of Julys in a row. I can't think of any other time where we've had 3 years straight of nice weather on the 4th.
Keep the rain at bay, watch those fireworks.
That's the hope. All right. Thank you very much, Eric. Hey, take a look at this. This is what...
With Ben Kinney and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. I'm Ben Kinney, in for Gary.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
Oh, it's going to be another wet start to the weekend. Shocker, we can't get a break. The streak keeps going.
Listen, the weekend actually not too bad. Yeah, we got some storms arriving in Saturday. Sunday's looking pretty nice, though, I guess.
Okay, but the streak still continues.
Forget about the streak. It just
No,
makes
I
us
have a
more
lot
sad.
riding on this street.
Listen, you can do a backflip, no
No, I
issue.
can't.
Let's take a look at the forecast right now. Again, a live look in Cooperstown. Very busy Main Street as usual here in summertime. And it's dry out there. Yeah, a little cool out there. But so far the rain showers have been still very hard to find across the region. We have one just outside of Geneva and parts of the Finger Lakes out here. The overall trend of these showers as they are slowly pushing north and east, but they're weakening progressively. So for the most part today, looking not anywhere close to the washout we were expecting compared to past few days. By the way, just a lightning bolt reported right there over Lake Ontario moments ago. If you're looking for the heat, you got to turn to Buffalo. 84 degrees out there. Meantime, you're heading outside. It's a 65-degree day so far. The coldest pocket of central or of upstate New York, right here in central New York. 63 and 60 as you head toward the southern tier. Again, as I mentioned, this weekend, not entirely bad. Still on Saturday, make sure you have ways to receive weather alerts. Of course, we'll be covering those potential storms arriving in the evening, roughly around between 3 and 6 p.m. Following that, though, sunshine moves in for Sunday with no severe weather threat. Still, though, today, it's cooler, it's cloudy. We're going to break down the impacts of that potential storm system on Saturday coming up in a few minutes. Ben?
All right, Eric, thank you very much. Breaking news on a major...
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon. What a week, and at least what a change the weather has been in just a short span. On Monday and Tuesday, we were talking close to record high temperatures. Today, well, we're in the 60s. Quite a shock to the system. Downtown Utica, cloudy skies out there, mainly dry. A few spotty showers to our south and west are struggling to stay together. Still, it's slightly muggy out there. Dew points upper 50s, still relatively comfortable by this week's standards. And still today, with the lack of serious rainfall, even this afternoon, leave those windows open and air out some of the heat and humidity in your house. Still a little breezy, though, today, and we are tracking those clouds here locally. And again, a passing shower or two is still possible. All that heat out in western New York. Be jealous of Buffalo. They're in the 80s right now. We're still hovering in the 60s. But don't worry, we're going to see our fair share of warmth in the short term. We head into the next week, into early part of July, and we're talking upper 70s, low 80s. It's not a major heat, but this is pretty nice weather-wise. And besides that, there will be days of sunshine ahead. Yeah, maybe a few thunderstorm chances, but that's to be expected in summertime. So we are tracking in the larger scale picture this frontal boundary that's moving its way north and to the east. This is a warm front, and the way warm fronts work, you can see the cloud cover here. The front's actually back here. Warm fronts glide above the air mass that's currently present. However, the cold front barrels through it. And that's why when we track cold fronts in summertime, usually they're accompanied by thunderstorms and the chance for severe weather. That is the case tomorrow. It's not a high chance, but there's still a chance, and want to make sure whether aware tomorrow between right here, 3 and 6 p.m. is that time frame. You want to make sure you have phone alerts just to, if you're out and about, I know it's a weekend day, just to make sure you have those alerts from severe storm warnings. Biggest concern with these, mainly flooding due to the high water table from all that rain we saw last weekend, and beyond that, still more rain that could be expected. Strong winds and the still low but non-zero chance of a tornado. So that rain shower from that warm front moves its way north and east. We dry out this evening and tonight. Tomorrow, a passing shower, maybe a downpour in the early afternoon. And then by the evening, you can see this front begin to move in right here, 3 to 6 p.m. Now, our Skycast here has it on the weaker side. I think it'll be a slightly stronger front. I don't think anything record-breaking, nothing like what we saw last weekend. But just again, with the typical summertime cold front setup, there could be maybe a severe thunderstorm warning or two along this line as it pushes east. We'll follow it. Just got to make sure you're weather aware by tomorrow. Regardless, the severe risk ends Saturday night, and it remains zero throughout Sunday. It's pretty nice to wrap up the weekend. Sunshine, highs in the upper 70s. We wrap up July with an 87-degree day with scattered thunderstorms on Monday. Then July moves in with low 80s, a few thunderstorms. Sunshine arrives Wednesday and Thursday next week and hopefully lasts one day longer into the 4th of July on Friday.
Be nice. That would be very nice, especially with the story that's going to be coming up a little bit later that we just found out. It's going to be coming over Old Forge.
I know.
I might have to drive up. I might have to drive up to see it as long as I can get back here because I do have to anchor that night. But I
make the trip
want to
up.
go
It's
up and
worth
see
it.
it. I really want to go up. All right. Thank you very much, Eric. A fireball. Good afternoon once again. Thank you for joining us. I'm Ben Kinney in for Gary.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
Man, it is busy down in Cooperstown today.
Every day, very busy. Myself went down there about a couple weeks ago, and yeah, a lot of the baseball families enjoying Cooperstown and all the local scenes. And of course, weather today, it's cooler, but it's mainly dry, which is the good news. A look outside right now, again in Cooperstown, you can see, of course, how busy it is out there. As we take a look at the current conditions, the radar picking up on a few spotty showers. This is this warm front moving in. And by warm front, we're talking pretty warm, especially out west. Now, here's a look at the signal here. Got a few thunderstorms along the line, especially over Lake Ontario. But as we zoom out into the temperatures, look at this here. We're cool right now. Get jealous of Buffalo. It's 84 degrees out there. And as you head out closer to our area, we're in the 60s. So as we look ahead to the weekend, yes, there will be some thunderstorms beginning Saturday evening. We'll break down the impacts of that coming up in a few minutes. But as we head into Sunday, it looks pretty dry. You have any Sunday plans? It's looking really nice for that. Still, though, the next 12 hours, temperatures are in the 60s, pushing 70 degrees if we're lucky, under mostly cloudy skies and a passing shower. Well, again, have a more detailed look at that weekend forecast, timing out when those storms arrive in a few minutes. Ben?
All right, Eric, thank you very much. The Masonic Medical Research Institute.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon. We are tracking cloudy skies across the area today with a few pockets of rain showers moving their way in. A live look at downtown Utica at this time. It's dry, but again, still cloudy scene and a cool scene out there. Temperatures still in the mid to upper 60s so far. The humidity levels on the lower side, which is something I haven't seen in quite a while this week. So maybe one of those days when I leave the windows open. But we are still tracking the potential for a passing shower early this afternoon. This is in the wake of a coming warm front, and I'll show the impacts of it in a second, but that warm weather is ushering in 80-degree temperatures out in Buffalo. And although today is on the cooler side, don't worry. We've got some warmth, summer-like weather back on the way again as we head into Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday of next week. So here's a look at those fronts here. And as I mentioned, there's that warm front moving in. And you notice here, got those clouds and rain showers. Well, the way warm fronts work, they gently lift over the air currently present. So the actual front itself looks far behind where that cloud and rain deck is. Cold fronts, a different story. They barrel through the atmosphere. And this is what happens tomorrow evening. And with that cold front, it could fire up a few thunderstorms, some of which could be on the stronger side. Here's a look at that severe weather risk for tomorrow. We are at a level 1 out of 5 risk, marginal in that dark green area. Again, this is nothing like we saw last weekend, but still something to keep a close eye on, especially between 3 and 6 p.m. Just make sure you have ways to receive weather alerts either to your phone or any method you seem fit. Either way, biggest concern, some heavier rainfall, some stronger wind gusts. We can't rule out an isolated tornado, but again, this is not a tornado-driven event. This is mainly just a cold front ushering in a few thunderstorms. There could be maybe 1 or 2 severe thunderstorm warnings if it does strengthen enough, but at least for now, this is not something that is extremely concerning. Either way, we look ahead to this evening, mainly quiet weather. Tonight, a few passing sprinkles and even a few downpours by tomorrow morning. By tomorrow afternoon, you can see that cloud deck turning to even some peaks of sunshine for that cold front moves its way in. Now, our skycast here doesn't show a whole lot of activity, but as we head throughout the evening, it might strengthen as it pushes its way east. Still, again, we'll closely watch it. Severe risk ends Saturday night. There is no risk expected Sunday morning, and in fact, it dries up with sunshine moving in by the afternoon. A great end of the weekend. So we look ahead to the 7-day forecast. We've got upper 70s, low 80s on tap for eventually Monday and Tuesday of next week. We head into the first days of July, and it looks rather nice. I mean, we got a few thunderstorms on Tuesday, but then Wednesday and Thursday, we're looking at the 70s with sunshine moving back in again. So far, the stretch of weather, looking at late June, early July, looking rather nice. Now, back here with the News Talk with our own chief meteorologist, Bill Cardis here. Welcome to the set early on your day,
Yeah, we wanted to talk about something. I mean, obviously, with everything that's been going on, we've learned a lot, and we want to talk about the warning system and how folks can better prepare for severe weather. And I think the first thing that I'll address, which is in my hand here, is a weather radio. A weather radio is a second way of getting warnings. And I think one of the lessons learned is that having multiple ways of getting warnings is a must. This weather radio can be programmed for getting weather alerts, and if it was programmed over the weekend, this would have gone off with the severe thunderstorm warnings. And so this is just another way, and here's an example of what it would sound like here, and hold on, I gotta set this up. So this is another way of doing this, and so you'd hear an alarm, something like this.
And that'll definitely wake you up.
Yeah, so this would have gone off with that severe thunderstorm warning that was issued. It was around, I think it was 3:30 in the night.
Very early in the morning, yeah.
Yeah, so that's one way. Another thing too is for those of you that have an iPhone, I want you to take your iPhone out here. There's another, there's an Apple upgrade that you can do to help you get advanced warnings. So what I want you to do is to go into Settings, to click on Notifications, and I want you to scroll all the way down to the bottom. So scroll all the way down to the bottom where you're going to see emergency alerts.
And we have that picture here actually too, if we want to load it up as well.
Yeah.
What it looks like on your screen. Here's what it looks like right here.
So when you click on emergency alerts, you're going to see something like this. I want you to click this. It's called local awareness. Now the reason why we're asking folks to do that is because tornado warnings and severe thunderstorm warnings are issued from polygons. In other words, they're location specific. So unlike other types of warnings that are issued by county, here's an example of the tornado warning that was on early Sunday morning. In that box, those are the areas that get alerted to the tornado warning, and it's very specific. If you are outside of that box, you don't get the alert to your phone. So something to keep in mind here too, turning on that setting, we're hoping that just helps enhance this process.
And again, it's that local awareness. Make sure the phone has access to your location. That's a very vital tool, especially in those overnight hours. But again, this is location dependent and time dependent too. Sometimes this happens in a fraction of the second, like what took place over the weekend.
Yeah, and that's another good point to bring up, Eric, is you have to have a plan in advance. When a tornado warning comes out, there's no time to Google this. There's no time to think about this. You only have a few minutes, and that's what we've learned over the years with what happened over the weekend with Rome. Have a plan. Your tornado safety plan is to go into your basement. If you don't have a basement, you're going to go into the lowest floor of your home, and you're going to be away from windows. So a bathroom, a closet. Again, you should know where you should know this ahead of time. You should have a plan for your family so that when the weather radio does go off, you can get everybody into a safe place. And again, ideally, it's in a basement, but a hallway bathroom would be a second best place.
Yeah, the green areas here are mainly just staying away from windows. I know one of the biggest concerns with these storms, it's debris, flying debris. They mentioned sometimes too in a bathroom, and putting sometimes even blankets, mattress over you. In some cases, obviously, some of these tornadoes aren't that strong, but it's always good in these situations, especially when it's a sudden thunderstorm or a sudden tornado, to make sure you'd rather play extra cautious than, unfortunately, be affected by some of this debris here. So.
Right, and the other lesson too is take severe thunderstorm warnings seriously, because I mean, there was so much wind damage, and the severe thunderstorm warnings cover the wind damage. They're issued because of the wind damage, and straight line winds, whether they're straight line or swirling, it doesn't matter. Things are going to come down, trees are going to come down, there's going to be a ton of damage. Those severe thunderstorm warnings need to be taken seriously too.
Yeah, and again, if you go to the tornado warnings here, just to recap a couple of these, I know I'm sitting in front of them right here. You've got two main ones. There are, of course, the typical radar detected ones. These are those red icons, weather apps sometimes, even our posts on social media on our app as well, will show those red icons. Those, even though they aren't confirmed, you take them seriously as if they are on the ground. It means we're detecting rotation in the atmosphere. Now, the pink ones are even more urgent. That means that it's either been visually confirmed or the radar has picked up on debris. In both cases, again, as you mentioned, Bill, you got to take these seriously. I know sometimes, if there's a lot of warnings going on, it might be drowned by a lot of notifications and whatnot, but it's always good in those situations to make sure you're tuned in to these warnings. And of course, again, always have multiple methods of receiving these warnings, especially in overnight hours.
Yeah, and another thing to bring up here too is, we backtracked and we looked at all the radar images, and we didn't actually see the debris signatures from that. So the confirmed tornado, it doesn't always play out. I mean, part of it is just the radar angle, the elevation matters, and sometimes there's just so much going on in the storm that they're not always easy to see. But that's why, I mean, in both situations, confirmed or non-confirmed, you still have to take the same precautions.
So yeah, and again, with situations like overnight storms, even just daytime storms, a warning comes down, it's always good to take them seriously. The people watching the radar, they see stuff that looks suspicious, warnings come out, and those are tools that are helpful for you. For again, you turn on the emergency alerts on your phone. You have the Storm Tracker 2 app, which you get notifications of also thunderstorms, not just tornado warnings. Of course, the weather radio, other events too. For example, we can go live on air during daytime and whatnot for these storms. So again, multiple ways to receive information is one of the best ways to remain safe during these events. Bill, thanks for coming in.
Sure.
And we'll be back right after this.
The forecast with meteorologist James DeFazio in for Bill tonight. Rainy out there. We just heard it come down pretty hard up here.
Absolutely. We just had a nice round of showers work through. It's very cool. It's very damp out there. And we're going to continue to see these rounds of showers tonight. They are going to get lighter as the night persists. So this heavy rain that we just saw a couple minutes ago, it should continue to get lighter as the night goes on. Downtown Utica seeing plenty of wet roadways. Give yourself some extra time to slow down, as we did get quite a downpour just a couple minutes ago. Here is that cluster of showers that worked through Oneida County. It's currently working through central Herkimer County and towards the eastern Mohawk Valley. We do have some more showers back towards the Syracuse area that are trending or that are tracking in our direction. They are going to encounter drier air as they do so, and they are going to weaken, but we will still see a couple more scattered sprinkles. Take a look at this temperature spread. It's 87 degrees in Buffalo right now. 63 for us here in central New York. Unfortunately, Buffalo's the lucky ones today. They're in the warm sector. 63 degrees with cloudy weather. The dew point all the way up above 60 as well, so it is a tad humid out there. Tonight we're going to be tracking those scattered showers. Otherwise, cloudy weather persists. Lows right around the current temperatures, mid-60s, approximately 64 degrees. Coming up, we're going to be taking a look at tomorrow's forecast. We're tracking afternoon thunderstorms and highs in the upper 70s. Jason?
All right, James, thank you. The Supreme Court justices today limiting.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist James DeFazio.
Good Friday evening. We're tracking a damp, cool June night across central New York, but unfortunately, that doesn't look to remain for the weekend, and it doesn't look like a washout of a weekend. It looks like a relatively pleasant weekend for the most part. Let's take a look at what we're looking at downtown Utica right now off the Nexus Center cam. Wet roadways. We just had a round of showers work through Oneida County. Dry weather beginning to settle back in, but we're still going to see some scattered showers this evening. Temperatures in the low to mid 60s currently. Scattered showers continue this evening, lighter than the ones that have just worked through. Otherwise, cloudy and cool weather persists until tomorrow. Thunderstorms are possible Saturday afternoon. We're going to be keeping a very close eye on those. They're possible throughout the afternoon from 1 to 7 p.m. And Sunday's looking dry, and then we turn warmer and more humid as we head into next week. We're back up into the mid to upper 80s by the beginning of next week. Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar showing that round of heavier showers and this cluster of showers that has slid through. We're tracking a couple of showers back to the west near Syracuse now, but these are much lighter in nature and they are expected to weaken as they reach us. If they do, it would just be some light rain showers. 63 degrees with cloudy skies in Rome, a 61-degree dew point, making it feel a tad humid out there. They're relatively close to one another, which indicates a relatively humid atmosphere. Temperatures tonight, relatively stable. We should warm up a couple more degrees once these showers exit back up into the mid-60s, but tonight, lows only in the low 60s, about 63 degrees for a low tonight. Tomorrow, going to be tough to get the lawn cut with a couple rounds of showers. Could possibly get it cut in between a couple of the rounds of showers if you're willing to cut it wet. Otherwise, Sunday and Monday present great opportunities to get the lawn cut. Taking a look at the skycast for this evening, we're seeing dry weather right now. Unfortunately, that is not what's happening. Showers are currently working through central New York. They are exiting the region. Drier weather works in for overnight. By tomorrow morning, we begin to see some scattered showers working in from the west. They primarily fall across the North Country. All of us could see a scattered light shower during the morning and afternoon, during the morning hours. As we head into the afternoon, a cold front approaches and a line of thunderstorms develops, and we're going to be tracking these from 1 to 7 p.m. Again, they're going to be throughout the afternoon, very early evening, before things calm down and dry out and settle down for the rest of the weekend. Afternoon thunderstorms tomorrow, highs in the upper 70s. Stick with us. We're going to be keeping a close eye on these. A couple could be on the stronger side. Taking a look at that 7-day forecast, showers come to an end on Saturday evening. Sunday looks pleasant. We're not going to have a completely wet weekend, partly sunny skies on Sunday. Monday looking mostly dry now. A couple of showers arrive later in the day and a very warm day, upper 80s. And then pleasant weather, a couple pop-up storm days here and there in the forecast period. But all in all, a lot of pleasant sunny weather.
All right, we just talked about the Beach Boys being postponed. I know you're a Beach Boys fan. I want to let you know that if you got tickets, refunds are available at the original point of purchase. So that's something to keep in mind.
That's good.
All right, thank you, my friend. A fireball in the sky. Back to meteorologist James DeFazio.
Good evening. Tonight's Skycast is featuring Bo and from Whitesboro, and tonight's dog walk might feature a couple of light showers with very stable temperatures in the mid-60s. Bo's got a nice little tongue peeking out there, very cute. Sky hanging out beneath me here. I'm sure she's having a good time with Bill on his night off tonight. We're tracking some mild temperatures, and by mild I mean chilly for this time of year. It's quite chilly out. We're in the low 60s in the wake of these showers that moved through just a short while ago. Temperatures will climb back up a couple of degrees now over the next hour or two, but lows tonight right around the current temperatures. They're going to be right around the low 60s, 62 to 63 degrees for a low tonight. Currently at Rome, 63 degrees with the 61-degree dew point, making it feel quite moist and damp out there. The humidity is a tick up. It's quite humid out there. And that humidity is going to be around into the weekend and into the beginning of next week. Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. You can see most of the showers are now east of Herkimer County, still working through Montgomery and Delaware counties and sliding eastward. We have a light shower working into western Madison County, and a very light shower is all we're anticipating for the remainder of the evening. Otherwise, this cloudy, cool weather persists. Temperatures warm up very much so as we head into next week. Highs on Monday all the way up into the upper 80s. Coming up, we're going to take a look at your weekend forecast as well as what you can expect tomorrow afternoon in terms of storms. Jason?
All right, thank you, James. We're hoping for good weather across.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist James DeFazio.
Good Friday evening. It was a damp but chilly day across Central New York, and that's continued into this evening, and it's going to unfortunately continue into the first half of Saturday before things were greatly improved for the second half of the weekend on Sunday. We had a shower work through about 30 to 40 minutes ago across downtown Utica. Dry conditions currently, but you can see it left quite a bit of wet weather. The ground is very wet. The camera still has some drops on it. Temperatures are in the low 60s. Give yourself some extra time to slow down if you're traveling on the wet roadways. Scattered showers continue this evening, otherwise just cloudy, cool conditions. Thunderstorms are possible tomorrow afternoon. We're going to be tracking those from 1 to 6 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. And Sunday is looking completely dry, and then we turn warmer and more humid as we head into the beginning of next week. Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar showing that round of showers that worked through central New York just a couple hours ago, about an hour ago or so. These are now beginning to exit the central New York towards the capital region. We have a couple extremely light showers working in from the west that are entering Madison County and western Oneida County. And this is all we're going to be dealing with aside from the cloudy weather, some very light showers this evening. 63 degrees with cloudy skies in Rome, just a light breeze at 6 miles per hour, and that will continue. Temperatures tonight, relatively stable. We might warm up another degree or two after dropping a degree or two after these showers. About mid-60s for this evening, and then we settle into the lower 60s for the overnight. Lows tonight right around 63 degrees. Your Clinton Tractor and Implement Mowcast with a couple rounds of showers expected for Saturday. With a primarily dry morning, you might be able to get the lawn cut tomorrow, but it would be very tough. Sunday and Monday look completely dry, and both look to present good opportunities to get that lawn cut. Taking a look at the skycast for this evening, a couple of scattered showers, otherwise just cloudy weather. As we head into tomorrow morning, we start off the morning in the mid-60s, showers to the west, overspread the region as the day progresses. A cold front approaches from the west, and showers and thunderstorms develop along the passage of this cold front. We're going to be tracking these throughout the afternoon. I have this paused at 2:30 p.m. These showers and storms are going to be around throughout the afternoon and early evening. 5 p.m., still tracking a couple of scattered showers. They exit the region, and the rest of the evening looks dry, calm, and pleasant. However, we're going to be tracking the chance for a couple of strong storms within that line of storms that works through with the cold front. Tomorrow, again, highs in the upper 70s, near 80. Afternoon thunderstorms we'll keep an eye on just in case any of those do get on the stronger side. Pleasant weather settles in for the second half of the weekend. Partly sunny skies, highs near 80. Showers develop overnight Monday into Tuesday. Showers and thunderstorms yet again on Thursday. Pleasant weather for Wednesday and for Friday.
Forecast with meteorologist James DeFazio.
It's a chilly June night across central New York, and we're dealing with some scattered showers, fortunately, most of which have moved through the region. Dry weather has settled into Utica. You can see plenty of people leaving the Aud right now from the Proctor graduation, and fortunately, they don't have the umbrellas out just now. We did have this round of showers work through right around 4:30 to 5 p.m. They have since shifted off to the east and are now over by the Capital District. Just a couple of extremely light showers are going to work through over the next 30 to 45 minutes. So light that I would consider them sprinkle level. We are dealing with very mild to chilly temperatures across New York State this afternoon, and only in the low to mid 60s, while our friends out to the west saw highs today in the upper 80s. Unfortunately, things are going to slowly warm up for us as the weekend progresses. And by the beginning of next week, we're looking at very warm weather. 65 degrees and cloudy in Rome with an 8-mile-per-hour breeze out of the east-southeast. Tonight, the cloudy weather persists with a couple of isolated showers, lows right around 64 degrees. Temperatures stay relatively stable. Tomorrow, we're tracking those rounds of afternoon thunderstorms, a couple of which may be on the strong side, and we're going to break that down coming up in just a couple of minutes. Highs in the upper 70s. I'm going to throw it right back over to you, Jason.
You should, James. Thank you. Now, we want to give
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist James DeFazio.
Good Friday evening. Cloudy, cool conditions continue across central New York this evening with some scattered showers embedded. Fortunately, the steadiest of the showers have worked through, and now we're just going to see some very light showers and primarily cloudy weather until tomorrow. Temperatures now mid-60s, and temperatures are going to be relatively stable. It's a chilly night tonight. Lows only get down, though, into the low 60s. We're pretty stable in terms of temperature until after sunrise tomorrow. Dry weather has returned to downtown Utica, which is good. We can see some folks leaving the graduation from the Utica Memorial Law now. Scattered showers continue this evening, otherwise cloudy and cool conditions. Thunderstorms are possible. Almost likely Saturday afternoon. Strong thunderstorms possible. Thunderstorms in general likely Saturday afternoon. Sunday is looking dry. However, next week is trending warmer and more humid than especially these current temperatures. Your for Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar showing those round of showers that worked through earlier this evening that are now off to our east. Just a couple of light showers back to the west. These are almost sprinkle level light. Primarily cloudy conditions persist for the remainder of the evening. We're back up to 65 degrees at Rome with cloudy skies, an 8-mile-per-hour breeze out of the east-southeast. Relatively calm conditions persist, and again, temperatures don't do a whole lot. Lows tonight right around 63 degrees just before sunrise. Relatively stable temperatures until tomorrow morning. Your Clinton Tractor and Implement Mowcast tomorrow with a scattered shower possible tomorrow morning and widespread showers expected throughout the afternoon and evening. It would be tough to get the lawn cut. Sunday and Monday by far the two best, the two dry days forecast and two best days of the next three to get the lawn cut. A couple scattered showers this evening, but primarily cloudy weather with stable temperatures. And again, we start tomorrow right around the mid-60s. A couple of scattered showers, especially across the North Country, but we're really tracking what arrives during the early afternoon, mid-afternoon, and early evening. A cold front works in from the west, fires up a line of thunderstorms across central New York, and these work through central New York through the afternoon and evening. 5 p.m., we're still seeing the back end of these showers. Drier weather works in and moves in behind that, and drier weather continues and persists for the remainder of the weekend, and a pleasant day ahead for our second half of the weekend on Sunday. Tomorrow, those afternoon thunderstorms develop primarily between 1 and 6 p.m., highs in the upper 70s, approximately 79 degrees. Your 7-day forecast, the second half of the weekend looking very pleasant, highs near 80 degrees with partly sunny skies. Showers develop very late in the day on Monday. Monday's almost an entirely dry day and very warm, upper 80s. Showers and thunderstorms again on Tuesday. We stay near the 80-degree mark with partly sunny skies on Wednesday. A little bit chillier with showers and thunderstorms on Thursday. Be right back. Unfortunately, I feel like I am nothing but the bearer of bad news. We're not looking at a dry day tomorrow, but we're not looking at a non-stop rainfall tomorrow either. We're going to break that down coming up in full weather, how it's going to be, showers are going to be in and out. Currently in downtown Utica, we're tracking dry conditions. It's a relatively mild night. Temperatures are in the low to mid-60s. We have some light sprinkles working in from the west, and these light showers are going to be around all night. But they're really not going to do much more than wet the ground or wet the roadway. They're extremely light in nature. We're really not going to see any substantial precipitation until tomorrow morning. Current temperatures around the state vary greatly. In central New York, we're in the low to mid-60s, but out to the west, Buffalo, just north of Buffalo, mid to upper 70s. So it's a tale of location tonight. Mid-60s, 65 degrees in Rome with a 9-mile-per-hour breeze out of the east-southeast. It's a tad muggy out there this evening, but not overly humid. Lows tonight right around 62 degrees with a couple light showers, otherwise cloudy. Tomorrow we're tracking those afternoon thunderstorms. Highs are going to be in the low 80s, approximately 81 degrees. We're going to break down when we're expecting that wet weather, when we're expecting that dry weather coming up in just a couple of minutes, and what you can expect for your outdoor activities. Jason?
All right, James, thank you. New tonight, the weather held up.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist James DeFazio.
Good Friday evening. Tracking a few light showers, otherwise just cloudy conditions this evening. Primarily going to be a dry start to Saturday, and we're going to track some showers and storms during the day on Saturday. And the second half of the weekend, Sunday, looking very pleasant and very comfortable. Currently in the mid-60s, scattered showers tonight, but very light showers, sprinkles at times, otherwise just cloudy weather. Thunderstorms are likely during Saturday afternoon, and they're going to be most prevalent between 1 and 6 p.m. And then dry weather arrives for Sunday, and it gets hot and humid for Monday. Your Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar showing that a lot of this precipitation off to the west as it works into central New York is drying up, and that's going to continue overnight tonight. But we will still see a few showers survive the trip, such as this one approaching Syracuse right now. This will work into western Oneida County, a couple light sprinkles associated with that. All in all, though, primarily cloudy weather overnight. 65 and cloudy in Rome, an 8-mile-per-hour breeze out of the east-southeast. Overnight temperatures don't do a whole lot. We're right around 65 degrees right now, and lows tonight are going to be right around 62 degrees. We're right in the low to mid-60s for the entirety of the night. Relatively stable temperatures. Your Clinton Tractor and Implement Mowcast. It's going to be tough to get the lawn cut tomorrow. You'd have to time it quite perfectly in between the showers. But on Sunday and on Monday, you really wouldn't have to dodge much. They both look like completely dry days with long periods of dry conditions during both days. So I would recommend Sunday or Monday if you're able to. Cloudy weather persists tonight with relatively stable temperatures, lows in the low to mid-60s. Tomorrow morning, showers begin to develop. They're primarily across the North Country first, but by 10 a.m. we're seeing some light showers across central Oneida County. By midday, we're seeing our first signs of a couple of thunderstorms across northern Oneida County. They're the areas that are going to see the thunderstorms first from this cold front as it approaches. As this continues to overspread the region throughout the afternoon, we all see thunderstorms. This is 2:30 p.m. I'm going to fast forward this to 5 p.m. This is towards the end of our precipitation for the day. We're still seeing storms across the southern tier. After 6 p.m., these have exited the region, and calm, pleasant, dry weather settles in for the remainder of the weekend. Tomorrow, again, we're tracking those afternoon thunderstorms, a couple of which could be strong. We're going to keep an eye on those. Nothing like last weekend, highs in the low 80s. A look at your 7-day forecast. The second half of the weekend looking very pleasant. Partly to mostly sunny skies, clouds decrease throughout the day, highs in the upper 70s. Most of Monday is a dry, sunny, hot, humid day. Those thunderstorms don't arrive till late in the day, highs in the upper 80s. Showers and thunderstorms overnight, Monday night into Tuesday and through Tuesday before we really dry out with some almost a perfect day on Wednesday. Upper 70s, low humidity, sunshine.
It's one of those things where you always have to, now you're going to have to make sure that you say, well, it's nothing like we saw the other day, nothing like we saw last week or 2 weeks ago.
Exactly.
People are still on edge about that, so we're looking, always going to be watching out for it.
Storm anxiety is very real, and it's nothing but normal.
And we're here to help you with that. All right, thanks, my friend. Coming up next, packaged to first look at the forecast. All right, come on, spill it.
Scattered showers.
All weekend.
Not going to be, no, just Saturday.
Just Saturday.
Just Saturday, yes.
Okay.
Scattered showers Saturday afternoon. A very beautiful Sunday. So it's a tale of 2 days this weekend. So we're not dodging it entirely, but we're not in it for the long haul this weekend either by any means. Excuse me. Dry weather has worked into downtown Utica. We saw some rain showers earlier this evening. Primarily cloudy weather conditions are going to persist for the remainder of the evening. You can see on our Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar, as these showers continue to work in from the west, they're falling apart as they do so. So as they continue to work towards central New York, some will survive the trip, but they're going to fall so lightly that it's basically going to be sprinkles. It's going to be barely enough to just wet the ground. Primarily cloudy conditions. A big range in temperature across New York State. We're in the low to mid 60s across central New York. Out to the west in Buffalo, they are in the mid to upper 70s from Buffalo and points northward. Quite a big spread in temperature right now. 64 degrees and cloudy in Rome, just a 6-mile-per-hour breeze out of the east-southeast. It is a tad muggy, but not overly humid. Dew points in the upper 50s at this hour. Tonight, lows are going to be in the low 60s, approximately 62. Cloudy with those scattered light showers. Tomorrow, again, yes, those scattered afternoon thunderstorms. Tracking a couple that could be on the stronger side. We're going to break that down coming up. Highs are going to be in the low 80s. We'll track those rainfall chances as well as how warm we're going to get Monday. Jason?
All right, thanks, James. New tonight.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Good Friday evening. Cloudy and cool conditions continue this evening. We're tracking a few scattered light rain showers, but primarily calm conditions. We're in the mid-60s with dry conditions across downtown Utica. Let's take a look at what we're tracking in detail. Scattered showers tonight. Otherwise, cloudy conditions persist. Thunderstorms are likely on Saturday afternoon, and some of them may pack a little bit of a punch. We're going to be keeping a close eye on the radar tomorrow afternoon. And dry weather arrives for Sunday, and then it gets hot and humid for Monday. Much warmer weather than we've seen over the last couple of days. Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar showing we have a couple of showers working in, especially across the southwest portions of our viewing area. Moving into Shenango County, Madison County now from the west. And these are going to be very light in nature, and they're not going to last all that long. We're not going to see too much rain from this tonight. Just a couple passing showers. 64 degrees with cloudy conditions up in Rome. 6-mile-per-hour breeze out of the east-southeast. And temperatures tonight, they are not going to do a whole lot. We're in the mid-60s right now. We do get down to about 62 for a short period of time just before sunrise. Lows right around 62 degrees, but temperatures relatively stable throughout the overnight. We're not going to see too much of a change in temperature, a degree or two. That's about all. Clinton Tractor and Implement Mowcast. Tomorrow is going to be tough to get the lawn cut with the rounds of showers that we're expecting. A light shower expected in the morning, and then several rounds of thunderstorms on and off throughout the afternoon. Sunday and Monday completely dry during the daytime hours. Ample opportunities to cut the lawn Sunday and Monday. If you're able to either of those days, those 2 days present the best opportunities of the next three. A couple of scattered light showers tonight. Otherwise, cloudy conditions persist with relatively stable temperatures. Tomorrow morning, a couple of showers begin to develop. We see a couple showers roll through the North Country early morning, most of us seeing cloudy conditions. By mid-morning, some showers develop, light showers across central Oneida County. Temperatures continue to rise. By midday, we're in the upper 70s, but we're starting to see those first signs of thunderstorms. Cold front begins to approach from the west. Those thunderstorms develop throughout the afternoon. They continue throughout the afternoon into the beginning of the evening hours. The rest of the evening, we dry out slowly. Calmer, drier, more pleasant conditions settle in for the overnight and for the remainder of your weekend. Tomorrow, those thunderstorms develop in the afternoon, highs in the low 80s, approximately 81 degrees. We're tracking a couple of strong storms possible to Saturday afternoon. We're going to be keeping a close eye on the radar. Second half of the weekend looks incredibly pleasant, upper 70s, decreasing clouds throughout the day, mostly sunny skies by the late afternoon. Most of Monday looks dry as well. Those storms don't look to arrive until after sunset.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not too bad of a start to the week, and then a couple showers and storms on Tuesday before another pleasant dry day Wednesday.
All right. Thank you, James. Coming up next,